Hi, if you're watching us, it's all about U-turns today. Let's find out right here on the RSS with HD. Hi, you're back with me, Rashid Salleh, and of course, joining me for today for the extended version is Harish Diol and as well as Graig Nunis, both from 2213. Today, obviously, we're going to be talking about the NCO Diaries, but before that, I'd like to wish the both of you happy Easter Sunday, Vaisakhi, and also Tamil New Year. And let's. So what did you eat over the weekend, Graig?
We had a steamboat
Ooh.
for lunch, dinner, and the next day's lunch because there's so much. I think that's the problem when you cook at home. Sometimes we just go overboard, and we are so used to cooking for so many people. But at this time now, it's only six of us at home, so normal as a PM said, you know.
And Harish,
Yeah.
I heard you actually cooked twice, once on Good Friday and once on Easter Sunday. What's going
So
on here?
glad. I'm so
Easter
glad.
miracle.
I'm so glad it didn't snow in Malaysia. But yeah, I did it. Surprisingly, some lemon pekiata, salmon, and the other one was biryani. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but you cooked. You cooked.
I
Anyway,
know.
I think that's probably a whole show by itself. We'll probably go on, but let's go on to talk about the MCO Diaries, Greg. Obviously, we've had issues with U-turns, and this was one of the articles you wrote. I ain't going to the barber anytime soon, and it got caused a big hoo-ha because first the government said we're going to get haircuts done. Haircuts is
Yeah.
part of the thing, and now people are complaining the haircutters association or whatever, barbers, and said no, we're not going to go out. So where are we now?
Well, as usual, they make decisions before talking to the experts or industry leaders and all that. Just make a decision. Like I think we were discussing before this, that maybe somebody wanted to have a haircut and said, "Screw it, I don't care. I want haircut." So let's implement this rule. But then when the feedback came, people are saying like, "Look, you're supposed to be practicing social distancing or physical distancing, as WHO calls it now. But a barber or hair salon, hairstylist, like Harish goes to hairstylist, is in your face. How do you know that the person does not have the virus? You know, and customers coming in, someone might have the virus and it could spread. So after hoo-ha from the public and everybody, they've made another U-turn. And this is not the first time that they have made decisions, blurted out decisions rather, and then put backtrack. So why can't they just sit down, talk to the people involved before making an announcement? It's so simple. I think even we, before our show, we discuss this kind of stuff before we decide what to do.
Right.
And we
I,
are we
I,
are small fries, you know.
I think Greg is being quite polite about this. I mean,
I'm a polite person.
you don't need to be an expert to come up with such a decision. I mean, it's sheer logic. You know, you speak about social distancing, you speak about physical distancing, and the whole world speaks about that 2 meter rule. And here you have people encouraging barbers to get back into business. I mean, yes, we understand that barbers need, to survive as well. But given the current situation, barbers would be the last thing to actually, be on anyone's mind right now, especially with the close contact you have between the barber and a client. You're putting the barber at risk, not just the customer. So just to understand how they can make a decision today and only to, within
Realize
24 hours or 48 hours later say that, oh no, they are closed. It makes a mockery out of the whole system.
And what about this to mask or not to mask issue as well? Because that's also been seeing U-turns as well. Like, do I wear a mask when I go outside or don't I? Because police earlier on, I remember policemen were berating motorists for not wearing their mask, and now the government says you don't have to wear the mask. But now shops are not allowing people to wear masks. Pearl from 2213 also had an issue. Harris, do you want to explain what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, she was getting supplies for her son, at a shop, and the cashier told her that no, she can't enter simply because she was not wearing a face mask. Now, she clarified, saying that the government has made it very clear that only those who exhibit symptoms or pretty much, frontliners basically, were to wear the mask. But if you're fine, you need to wear the mask, and there's a logic reason to that, simply because the masks to reach to the right people, i.e. the frontliners. You don't want to see a wastage of face masks out there. However, the shop, as in the cashier, didn't budge and insisted that Pearl wear a mask before entering. Now, she wore the mask, she entered, and she got out of the shop within 5 minutes, got back home. So a total of 10 minutes and one face mask wasted. Because as we all know that face masks can't be, worn again. Yeah. So, it's ridiculous where people come up with such policies to contradict, and it contradicts each other. It contradicts the authorities, it contradicts what was said earlier, and then you see another U-turn. So where are we at?
Well, but at the same time, every single day we've had all these press conferences, and
yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not doing a good job. He's doing an excellent job, the DG Health Ministry, but yeah, we've noticed that no one's wearing masks at the press conference. Are the media wearing masks at the press conference? You went to Putrajaya the other day, Harish.
Yeah, the media were wearing masks, but none of the top officials were wearing masks, simply because the media, they go for other assignments elsewhere. So it's only natural for them to wear masks, and they should wear masks. But as far as the top officials at the ministry are concerned, they are within the premise. And they are sticking by what the government had said. If you don't exhibit any symptoms, and if you're fine, you don't need to wear a mask, because the mask should be worn by our frontline, our cops, our soldiers, our nurses, our doctors. I think they need the masks more than you and I.
Yeah, as well as delivery people as well. Okay. Moving on ahead to another issue. Of course, the football will be talked about. And Graig, you had this meme sent to you. If you think a 30-day quarantine is a long time, just remember it's been 30 years since Liverpool last won the league. We know that the Premier League don't want to lose out, or rather Liverpool don't want to lose out. Premier League don't want to lose out. You got fans in Malaysia going crazy. We got Sheldon Xavier, who's huge Liverpool fan, who's going absolutely mad anyway because of this quarantine, and not knowing that that if and when they're going to win the league. But what are the thoughts of all the Liverpool fans in the country right now? We know, you've told us the news. Everyone knows what's going on. But what happens if they do cancel the league?
Life goes on. There's nothing we can do about that. I mean, we are hoping they don't cancel the league. I think we may have a deadline until June to decide will or will not, because they are giving them this 2.5 months quarantine at home and isolation, and see how it goes. Britain cases have shot up. I think it was for 200, if not mistaken. I forgot about the number, but it was around there. So Boris Johnson is out of ICU, the PM. So that's good news. So if the PM is out, that gives others hope.
Well, my biggest worry is of course all the other sports. They have been talking about getting the sports, especially international sports, back in June. Do you think? I mean, Malaysia, the DG has said we're not going to be having any mass gatherings for at least 6 months. Would you think that's going to be enforced, guys?
Well, they can play behind closed doors. That's one thing. If football matches, hockey matches. Hockey doesn't get any much of a crowd anyway. It makes no difference.
No, I think Liverpool fans can wait, for 30 years. What, why not other fans? Just wait, for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, until the end of the year. I think the health issue is more important. Sports industry has been really impacted by this, but it's something that we need to do. So yeah, let's just Let's all be a Liverpool fan and just wait a little longer.
Oh, that's so cruel. Greg, so what's up for today for the NCO Diaries, and what can we look forward to in the next week or so?
We'll probably be seeing more idiots being picked up by the police because Ismail Sabri, the senior minister, he says they will stop issuing the 1,000 fine and remand those jokers who decide not to obey the MCO. And because today is the third phase, we need to flatten the curve. And the IGP had warned yesterday also that if it does not go down, it could be until June. The MCO could continue until June. Any of us here wants that to happen.
Yeah.
We want to go back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah, great. But I have to say this. I hope we don't see a U-turn, yeah? Because that was what the police said initially. We will fine. And then the prisons department said, no, please, don't crowd. Yeah. There's no place in our prisons. So, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Hopefully no U-turn there as well.
Yeah, true. But like I said, the important thing is if we can stop it before June, then it's good because I think all of us are going crazy. That's the problem. We are so used to being, like as reporters, we are always on the field. We are gone for assignments here, we're gone for assignments there. Now sitting at home for 30 days, not 30 years, but 30 days, we are getting a bit stir crazy.
Yeah, it does feel like 30 years sometimes, so we know how Liverpool fans feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course...
there's always next season.
There's always next season. Oh, God.
The season after that. After that.
Yeah, for those of you who I see want to keep up with the news, there's always the 2213 website. Hopefully, trying to bring this up right now. That will be up. If you can't see it, never mind. I'll put it up. Just go to 2213 website and get the latest news from them. You'll get some, especially from Graig's articles. Will always have a link to his song for the day as well. So that's quite fun to read. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us for the RSS with HD Extended. Guys, please stay safe, stay home. For those of you who are watching, don't forget to subscribe to us, turn on the notification, and as well write down your comments. And we'll see you again on Sunday for the RSS with HD. We're going to have a really special guest this coming Sunday. So we'll see you then. Yes, very. Bye.